I'm back with episode 4 of the challenge where I am trying to grow a real personal $5,000 account to $10,000. After last week, which went pretty well, the balance is now sitting at $7,384. We're basically getting really close to that halfway point. A new trading week is starting now, and honestly, I can't wait to see how the markets will move and whether I can take another step towards the goal. Safe to say that I started the week with the right foot because I was able to avoid a loss right here just now. It's 15 minutes past 5 p.m. and on the 1 hour over here on UChef, I had this valid high, this valid low, and the low was liquidated and price gave me a beautiful H1 sweep confluence on it. Because of that, I then went on the 5 minute. I was also able to mark some liquidations. After that, I waited for the bullish shift that came in right here. But due to the fact that this was a weak shift without a full body closure, I didn't enter a buy here on this VVG, and it was the right decision. Okay, we can see that price had a good initial reaction, but then it reversed and it went lower. Okay, so I was able to avoid a loss here. Besides that, currently I have my eyes on NASDAQ. This is the only one that's presenting something interesting. We have this valid high, this valid low. The high was liquidated and price entered this H1 VVG. Because of that, on the 5 minute, I am now waiting for a bearish shift. Apart from this, everything else is in between. Okay, GU is in between. Gold is in between, euro dollar in between as well, valid high, valid low. I didn't take this one in consideration because price has liquidated pre-open and it already gave a setup from it pre-open. Okay, that's why I looked left and I identified the new valid low. US 30 is in between as well. Oh, never mind, it just liquidated the high here. So I'll take a closer look in a minute. And lastly, GJ is in between valid high and this newly formed valid low over here. So yeah, this is pretty much it for now. It is almost 7 p.m. and this was a pretty boring Monday. The only interesting thing that I saw was here on NASDAQ. On the 1 hour, it liquidated this high. It entered this H1 supply, but on the 5 minute, we can see that it wasn't able to offer a bearish aggressive shift. The volume wasn't really good either, and apart from that, everything else stayed in between. Okay, so nothing to execute today. It was a pretty boring day, but it is what it is. We move on, and real quick, I want to show you guys the balance as well, so you can see that it's at $7,384. Let me go over the settings as well, so you can see that it's the real ICE Markets account. Once again, the balance. And yeah, that was pretty much it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. It is Tuesday now, past 7 p.m. I'm done trading for today. And I had a lot of opportunities today, a lot of potentials, but I didn't take any trades. And that might be a good thing. Let me show you what I mean. So over here on GJ, on the 1 hour, we had this valid low, this valid high. The valid high was liquidated and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Because of that, on the 5 minute, I waited for a shift. I also had this 5 minute liquidation. The shift came in right here, pretty aggressive, pretty good looking. And on the second VVG, that's where I wanted to place my sell limit. I placed it, okay. And we can see that with this candle, it almost tapped it. It missed it by 2 pips. And then it went straight into profit towards the TP. But the TP would have been around here. After that, when I saw that the third and the fourth VVGs were formed, I decided to delete the setup, and it was the right decision because quite frankly, looking at the price now, I think it has a much higher chance to liquidate this high than to liquidate this low over here. Okay, and to show you guys that I didn't enter the trade, the balance is sitting at the same $7,384. Let me show you the settings as well. Here we go. And yeah, took a good decision here on GJ. Next up on gold, on the 1 hour, price had this valid high, this valid low that was liquidated. Price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it and also had a daily VVG confluence. But on the 5 minute, it just didn't have the bullish strength to offer a bullish shift, and therefore we had no setup. Moving forward to Euro USD, we had this valid high, this valid low over here that was liquidated and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Besides that, we had an H1 plus an H4 VVG, and on the 5 minute, the shift came in right here. But the reason I didn't want it to enter on this second VVG is because I wanted to see price breaking this high over here. And yes, eventually it broke that high as well, but it was too late. Finally, we arrived at GBP USD, where on the 1 hour we had this high, this low, the low was liquidated, and again price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Besides that, price was reacting to this H1 plus daily fair value gap. And on the 5 minute, we had this liquidation, we had a SMT confluence with euro dollar, okay? And price broke structure here, okay? So it gave an aggressive shift. It also gave a good looking VVG to enter on, but I didn't enter because the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level. So again, a pretty active day, a lot of potentials, but I didn't execute anything because I've stick to my plan. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I will see you all tomorrow. It is Wednesday now, it is 5:30 p.m. and I just avoided a loss on NASDAQ. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So over here on the 1 hour, we had this very high, this very low, the low was liquidated and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it with this wick. Besides that, it reacted to this H1 plus H4 plus daily fair value gap. And on the 5 minute, okay, I was able to also identify this liquidation. It gave an aggressive shift right here, a good looking VVG. However, I decided to not enter it. Why? Very simple. If we look closely, the entry would have been something like this, and the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level. Because of that, I decided to not enter it because ultimately it wasn't an A+ setup, and therefore I was able to avoid this L. Apart from that, everything else is currently in between. So GJ, very high, very low, prices in between. Gold also in between. Euro dollar, same story. GU might form a new low over here. USHEF liquidated this high here, but due to the fact that it had no higher time frame confluences, I looked left and I identified the new high. And lastly, US 30 is also in between. All right, so I am done trading for today and I had no setups. Pretty slow day. I only had 2 potentials here on euro dollar. On the 1 hour, it liquidated this high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5 minute, it failed to give me a aggressive shift. And on NASDAQ, on the 1 hour, it liquidated this low, another beautiful H1 sweep over here as well, but again on the 5 minute it failed to give me that shift. Besides that, everything else stayed in between, so really nothing to discuss about. And yeah, pretty slow week so far, but I cannot really complain about it because last week was a really profitable week for me if I combine day trading with swing trading, and the swings are going well as well. So again, there's no reason for me to complain about it. Only thing I'm pretty mad about is the fact that if I was to take the swing setups on this account as well, we would have already hit the 10K target. But again, I don't share the swing strategy publicly because it's the strategy I developed from scratch. And in case you're interested in it, because it's a strategy that requires only 15 minutes a day and literally everyone can apply it, you can apply for my program by clicking the first link down below. And yeah, see you all tomorrow. It is 5:30 p.m. now. It is Thursday and today is the last trading day of this week. Why? Because tomorrow we have the CPI. Let me show you guys. Tomorrow we have the CPI on the US dollar, and you probably already know that I always avoid trading the day when the CPI drops. The markets today look a lot better than yesterday. Okay, we have some potentials on USD CHF. Price liquidated the low and it entered this H1 demand. And now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for a bullish shift. I also like the fact that we have some 5 minute liquidations. That's great. On euro dollar, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high over here, and it might give a beautiful H1 sweep on it if this candlestick will close like this. If it will, then on the 5 minute, I will be actively looking for a bearish shift. Again, we also have some liquidations over here, which is great. Next up on NASDAQ, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high and it entered this H4 fair value gap. Therefore now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for a bearish shift. And apart from that, everything else is in between. So US 30 is in between. Same story with gold. On GJ, we have this valid low, this valid high that was newly formed, and now price is in between. And lastly, GU, we have this valid high and this low over here because this one was already liquidated and price already gave a setup from it pre-open. That's why I looked left and I identified this new low over here. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna stick with euro dollar and the green pairs for now, and of course I will keep you guys updated. What a roller coaster end of the day we had today. So over here on euro dollar, it is safe to say that I avoided a loss. Let me show you guys on the history right here. I closed it manually at minus $48. This is the set. These are the settings. And let me show you the balance where you can see the floating trade on US 30. Now, why have I closed this trade manually? We knew that we had this higher time frame confluence. I was waiting for a 5-minute shift. It came in right here, decent looking PVG, but I decided to close it manually because this candle right here went through the PVG right like it was nothing. In literally a split of a second, it closed the full PVG with a full body, and then it wicked down. But for me, that was a negative sign that the PVG didn't hold at all, and therefore I decided to close it manually. And besides this, the other trade I executed, and I'm still holding this one, is here on US 30. On the 1 hour, we had a beautiful H1 sweep confluence on this high because we can see that we closed below. And then on the 5-minute, price eventually gave an aggressive shift right here. Pretty good looking shift, decent looking PVG as well. And yeah, now it's playing at around the entry price. And since we are done trading for this week, I will get back to you guys soon with an update on this trade. Depending on how it will play out, you guys will find out as well whether it was a stop loss or a take profit. So unfortunately, it was a stop loss. Thankfully, it was an active day today, but unfortunately with the stop loss, and we ended the week with a loss. And this is the first losing week of the challenge, and it is what it is. Let me show you guys the loss on the MetaTrader as well. I've lost $385 on it because I was able to enter a bit higher in the PVG. Due to the fact that the price moved fast and I wasn't able to place my sell limit in time. And now the balance is sitting at 6.9k, $6,900. Let me show you the settings once again. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this week. It was a rough week indeed, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. We move on. We are still in a decent profit, almost halfway through. And to be honest, I know that if we get a good trading week, we should be able to either hit the target or get really close to it. That being said, make sure you are subscribed to not miss out on the future episodes, and also to not miss out on the giveaway if I will reach the 10k target. And also let me know down below if you enjoy the series and if you want me in the future to do more series like this. And till the next one, if you guys want to see a video where I talk about my journey as a trader from start till the present moment, you can watch the video that will pop on the screen now. That being said, I want to wish you all the best and take care.